Thank you everyone for joining us today as we are going to go through the CSI Knowledge Series Part 2 of integrating iMIS with best of breed solutions. Most of you know who the two presenters are today. I'm JT Fiedler. I'm the Product and Sales Advisor here at CSI, and I'm joined by Doug Morris, the Founder and Chief Product Officer. Now, we wanted to pause before diving into things and ask a few poll questions. So with that, I will go ahead and launch the first one. So the first one is, are you using a CSI product today? So we want to gauge where the attendees are, where you all are at with your knowledge of CSI, and if you are using anything that CSI has developed for iMIS. I will go ahead and end the poll.
All right, those 8% I like. Just here for the Doug and JT show.
Yes. Awesome. We do have one other one, and because we are talking about Power Automate, we want to see how many people are aware of Power Automate, have used Power Automate, or if you're like, I have no clue what Power Automate is, I want to learn more. Want to see where the level of comfort is for everyone. All right. I'll go ahead and close the poll and share the results. We do have one brave soul out there that is Mr. or Mrs. Power Automate. So that is good. Awesome. Well, I will pass things over to Doug and we will dive into things.
Thanks, JT. So just a quick reminder, our Power Automate connector, which we're going to see some cool stuff today, done by JT, who is not a programmer, is compatible with iMIS 2017 and EMS, just like almost every cloud product CSI offers. There are some things you can do with EMS due to the API that make it a little more powerful, but if 2017 allows it, we work with it. So no matter what you're on, you could be set up and using this right now. Now, you're probably like, why would I want to do this? Well, if you went to our first learning series, we're really focusing this year on automating a lot of what you're doing, right? And the reason we automate, right, is we're going to become more productive. We're going to become faster at what we do, and we're going to make fewer mistakes. So if you start to think about the things that you're doing as an organization or the things you're not doing that could be automated, you're going to see some opportunities to actually allow you to do your job even better. And when your job doesn't revolve around having to remember to run dues and all these things, you actually can help your members and donors even more. So we're really focused on automation with our learning series, and we want to show you that you can do it, right, without any expensive help or anything like that. So the good news is a lot of the Microsoft Office licenses already have Power Automate. So you can go ahead and see if you can log in right now. So if you just type in, Power Automate and try to log in, you may be able to have it already. And you'll see there's some really cool things you can do today with Power Automate without even spending any money, right? So the ability to get email reminders from things that you might be doing outside of Outlook. Send a customized email when you add a file somewhere. Just a lot of cool stuff you can do with the Office suite at no charge available today. So we encourage you to look into this. You just type in Power Automate templates and check out what's out there. Of course, if you really want to have the power, it's the iMIS Power Automate connector. I loved when this got published. I love going to Microsoft and typing in iMIS and seeing the iMIS logo there. So this is the iMIS Power Automate connector that we wrote in conjunction with ASI. They said, hey, we'd love this idea. We're not doing it in the near future. Can you handle this, CSI? So we did it, and they helped us along the way. They, of course, had to bless the fact that we were going to put ASI's logo and iMIS's logo out there, but it's out there. And so that Power Automate connector is sold and supported by CSI, and it runs on the Microsoft ecosystem. Now, for those people that said, what's Power Automate? Power Automate is the ability to integrate with just over 1,000 different apps out there. You'll see iMIS right in the middle of that, but you might see Word, you might see SurveyMonkey out there, you might see Box. You know, you're like, well, I hear customers always say, I want to drop a spreadsheet somewhere and automatically have it sweep into iMIS. You can do that with Power Automate. We're going to do something even cooler today, something a little more straightforward, because we want to do it live, and we want to show you how easy it is to do.
So diving into Power Automate, you might be asking yourself, why is Power Automate good, or why is integration good? And Power Automate, you're going to get the best of breed products. So if you're using things outside of iMIS, this is going to enable you to be able to integrate iMIS with those given third parties. iMIS will then become obviously that single source of truth, and there's no disparate data silos. iMIS holds all of the data. Now, requirements, you would obviously have the third party of your choice. Now, that could be Microsoft Teams, that could be Forms. AI is a big buzzword now in today's world. So there's AI and analysis tools out there that you can take advantage of. I do know we have done one that is an AI tool that monitors a shared mailbox. If it is a positive message, it's going to the team. And then if it's a negative, it goes to our executive director or our CEO. So you can get very creative in your workflows. And then obviously, like Doug mentioned, there's over 1,000 other platforms available. Then to connect iMIS with Power Automate, you do need to license our iMIS Power Automate connector.
Hey, JT, I think the positive sentiment emails should go to the executive director and the negative should go to a private team. I think that's probably a better way to do it.
Well, the nice thing is you can specify which route it should go. So that is completely up to you and your organization and what process you want to follow.
All right, big drum roll here. Go ahead and do it on your desk. I don't have any talent, so I can't do it. This is what y'all came here to see, right? We're going to see JT. And I encourage JT to record this, right? Because no mistakes will be made. And he said, nope, I'm going to do this live. I'm going to create some cool stuff for everyone live. He does have a recording as a backup, just in case things go completely wrong. So, but he's going to do this all live. And then he's going to show you some other really cool things. And this is the reason we're showing you this is just to show you how easy it is to go and start creating Power Automate flows, whether you're going to use the iMIS connector or not. So there's a lot of automation you can be doing today without purchasing anything. And then again, with the iMIS connector, you can do even more. So he's going to show you some cool stuff with the iMIS connector in there. JT, what are you going to show us?
Yes. So we are going to be using Microsoft Forms. So Microsoft Forms is a free forms tool, and this is going to be a process for membership joins. Now, when a form is submitted, we want to take that information and we're going to put that into iMIS. So we're going to create a brand new contact, and then we're also going to bring in some demographic data that they fill out. Lastly, once that is completed, we want to notify staff with a link to the given iMIS profile, and we're going to populate that into a Teams chat. So we're going to incorporate Microsoft Forms, iMIS, and Microsoft Teams. So what does that look like? So here, we'll go ahead, start a new flow. We are going to be doing an automated flow. So this is going to be triggered when someone submits that Microsoft form. So I could just do new member join process. And here is that trigger. So when a new response is submitted. Now you'll notice there are a ton of available triggers. So you can just search the third party and be able to find the appropriate one. Once we have that, we'll go ahead and hit create. And this is going to launch us into the Power Automate ecosystem. So here is the first step, when a new response is submitted. So in here, Microsoft Forms, I have a form out here, new member form, and you'll notice it's nothing special. It has first name, last name, email, and then just 3 random demographic questions. We'll go, first step is we'll want to select that new member form. Then the next one is we want to get that data. We want to be able to read what responses were done. So we get response details. The unique or the form ID is once again that new member form, and the response ID. This is where Power Automate excels. You can use responses and information from previous steps done. So here we're using this form. And our first step is going to be creating an iMIS contact. So when you go and click iMIS, there are all of these various actions you can do. So creating a contact, creating an activity, finding activities, updating contacts. So you have a ton of different options here. Now, like I mentioned, the first one will be create a contact. I'm going to change my instance to the demo 8 instance we have. And so this is where we're just going and we're accessing the form questions. So here we can just go first name goes to that first name submission on the form. Last name goes to last name. Email goes to email. And you could even set the member type. So I want all of these people to come in as a prospect. So you can create a custom member type or assign them as a non-member, whatever makes sense for your business flow. Then from here, we are going to add that demographic information. So we'll go into iMIS, and at the bottom, this is a single instance panel. So we'll go ahead and click single instance. We'll update which platform we're using. And from here, this is going to give you all of your panels that you have available. And I do know we have a good amount, so let's see. And this is where
demo image.
This is where the recording.
This is where that music keys in again, you know?
Yes.
We do all that. Come on, JT, where's everything?
All right. So here are all of your panels you have available, and we just have one out here, demographics. And what it's doing is it is actually pulling in the available fields. So the iMIS ID, once again, because we use that create a contact, we now have the iMIS ID. We know who this individual is. So we can select that. And then here are all of the fields we have. Now, we didn't capture all the information for those fields, so we're just going to go ahead and hit occupation. Goes to the occupation answer. School attended goes to school attended. And then we did track spouse, and we'll map spouse there. Now, that is all of the iMIS things we want to track. The only thing we want to do now is integrate with Teams. We want to notify staff when this process is done. So we'll type Teams, and we are just going to simply be posting a card in a chat or channel. Now we'll go through. We are going to post it into a channel. We'll want to specify the team. Then we'll want to specify which channel this should go to, and I'm going to just put it in the company chat. And then this is where it gets the most complicated. And this is a step you don't have to do. You could just post a message, not a card. But this is where I use ChatGPT to help me with some JSON. So I'll just go ahead and paste that in. And so this is going to be kind of an adaptive card we have that is going to be shown in Teams. Now, those are all of the steps. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And we will see that it has been saved and we are ready to go. So now I'm going to need everyone's help, and I'm going to copy this link and put it into the chat. And I'm going to send it to everyone, not hosts and panelists. And so click that link and start to fill out, this form. When you do, we will start to see people and responses come through. And for instance, I'll just go ahead.
It
I'll
made
do
me
a
log in. Why did it do that?
Let's do Brian Walker, B. Walker at csiinc.com.
It made me log in on that form. No
Oh,
one
it
has
did.
permission. I guess we forgot to try it with people outside of us.
Okay. Well, I will submit this, and what we will do, I'll look at the settings quick. But here you can see.
That would have been so cool.
Yes.
So cool if everyone could have filled out the form.
Our response was submitted. If we go down here, there we can see Brian Walker, and we see Bethany Mills also did. So when we click view profile, what this is doing is it is actually it is launching iMIS and going into that specific individual's iMIS profile that we just created here. Come on. Nothing like doing it live, Doug.
Yeah, man. No, we missed and you even had the form set up early.
I know. Let me see if I can figure out how to. There we go. Okay.
All right.
Now I will click that link and you'll be able to access it there. Let me go ahead and just refresh this view profile. We should be seeing more people, but okay, so there you go. There's Brian Walker. He came in as a prospect. And then in our demographics, there's the spouse, the occupation, and the school attended. And so here you can see people are submitting the form. So we have a brand new record. We'll click, I clicked Monica's. So what it's doing is we can just go in and it's loading the brand new created contact in iMIS. And there we can see, and there's that demographic information. And obviously not all the fields were required. So you'll see spouse occupation is blank, but there is that school attended. So that is a way that you can just streamline new member join processes and things like that. And so every time there is a new submission, you'll see all of these are flowing in, and we can go ahead and all of these people are now created and their demographic information has been brought in.
All right, not bad, JT. I give you 79 on that. So B
Here's the
minus.
recording just in case things went sideways. So that was kind of a big process, but the next one I want to show is a more straightforward one. Essentially, we're in Teams, and in our executive director or our CEO, if she doesn't want to, or if he doesn't want to go into iMIS to pull, say, reports, we can make it easier for them. So this is going to just simply be running an IQA and pulling information. So we can go here, we'll start a post, and this is just utilizing the workflows in Teams, and we have right here, workflow reports. So this is just going to be running an IQA, and this can be any iMIS data you want. So in our case, we have total donations this year and current member counts. If you say, let's see how many total donations we have this year, you can hit submit. And what it's doing is it's going to iMIS, it's running that IQA, and it's going to tell us how much money we raised in donations this year. Hopefully.
Mhm.
Oh. It's always when it goes live because I tested all of this morning. All right. Well, what I can show you is I ran it this morning. And so here is what it would look like. So it post this Teams chat, and it would be, okay, you have 27,000 donations in 2024. So this is where you can go ahead and pick what filters that should be. And then we do have one for total members. So we can go once again into this, click current member count, and hit submit. And what that's doing is, oh, and there is that donations that came through, and there are the members. So you can see total members as of this second. So you don't have to log into iMIS. You could see maybe you have a fundraising channel. And so the fundraising channel team wants to know how many donations they have. Maybe membership team has total members. Maybe the events team wants to see how many registrants do we have for this specific event. You can create that and have all of that information found in Teams. All right. I see there are some questions. So there was one, do you just put the IQAs you want to be accessible in a specific folder? So this is where you are able to go in and specify. So I'll go into the back end of things. The nice thing with this as well is you do get a history. So you can see there are all of the submissions for that form. But if I go to my flows, all you're doing from the IQA standpoint is you're just copying and pasting the IQA path. So in here, we have our cases, and this first one is the member count. And so it's just copy and pasting that IQA path. So you can do that. I do want to mention that this is also where you don't need to have an iMIS license to be able to pull those IQAs from iMIS to Teams. So there was a question there. And then the other one is, and Doug answered it, does everyone on your team have to have their own individual license? No. So like Doug mentioned, some office 365 accounts already have Power Automate. We recommend if you don't, all you need to be able to do is access what are called premium connectors. So that is around $15, I believe, a user a month. And so what we recommend is having a shared mailbox, like for instance, sales@csiinc.com. And that way multiple people can log in and they would be able to set up flows and things like that.
JT, what was your favorite? You said to me this morning your favorite part about working
Yes.
with Power Automate.
Great reminder. Yes. So I actually walked into Doug's office and I'm the kind of person that like feels rewarded when I'm able to create a workflow. And I think of Power Automate like a puzzle. So this is almost like when you get something uh filled out, you have the flow going and it's working. It's so rewarding to be able to be like, yes, I was able to do this. I accomplished this. And it's very rewarding work to be able to do that and implement this for your team. And like Doug mentioned, I'm not a programmer. You will notice that it's nothing. The hardest thing was that creating the card for Teams. You don't have to do that. So you could have it be just a simple, if you go to Microsoft Teams, you could have it just be a simple message. So maybe post message. And so what that's going to do is it is different than posting a channel or a chat message or a card. So you can go ahead, go through that same process, say we want it in company chat, and this is just going to be a message. So you could say new member, and then you can put, this doesn't have it, but you'd be able to access their name information from when we created their contact. You can still create a hyperlink saying, hey, click here to view the profile. And when they click it, it jumps them to iMIS. So lots of power. You don't have to get technical with it to be able to be successful and really boost the engagement of your staff and yourself as well. All right. Keep the questions coming in. But with that, we do have a special offer. So for a limited time only, we are going to, if you do license the iMIS Power Automate connector, we're going to add up to 4 hours of consulting help to get you started. So this is going to be, you can ask questions. All of this is going to be covered, and we can help you set up your Power Automate flows and make you as successful as possible getting started with Power Automate. So if this Teams integration is like, yes, I want this, our executive director, our CEO will love this. She doesn't have to log into iMIS to see these reports, or she doesn't have an iMIS license. We can go ahead and help set this up for you. With that, I'm going to pass things back over to Doug to talk through some new product alerts and go through a recent enhancement that we had with the Cloud SSO. So Doug, over to you.
Nice job, JT. Heads up, everyone. Got a product coming out this month. We are JT and I focus on the product side here at CSI, but on this call, I also have some of my peers on our consulting side. And so CSI, we're just like you. We work with in iMIS every day and whatnot. And as our clients transition to EMS, we went, well, boy, how are they going to talk to their GL processor? I'll say this: InSync has a great product out there if you're integrating with Intact. But we've got a lot of clients doing Dynamics and doing MIP and all these other crazy accounting softwares that were supported in 2017 that are no longer supported in EMS. EMS gives you a QuickBooks export or a comma separated value export. So we've created a product that's going to allow you to create your crazy export directly from iMIS. It'll support deferred income, due to, due from, and even better, if you have multiple entities, it's going to change your world. No more timing of batch posting, no more timing of exports. You'll have the ability to love your coworker who works in another entity. So this is available soon. We're rolling it out now. We're super, super excited about that because we need to support our clients right now using different GL systems. And shortly after that, iValidate will be coming out. iValidate is our replacement for iMove. If you used our iMove product, that was a national change of address processing product for the US. This is going to do even more. It's going to verify emails. It's going to verify mobile phone numbers. We think it's going to identify deceased. We're still practicing with that one. It'll do true national change of address and Canadian change of address processing. This is going to be the product that keeps your database clean on a consistent basis. So we're super excited about this because the other thing people are realizing, especially if they've been on iMIS for 10 years or they're new to iMIS, their data is dirty. And how do you clean it up? Well, iValidate's going to help with that. So just giving you a heads up, that's in the works and coming soon. And then last but not least, don't forget we have a full cloud SSO solution. Do not pay anybody to write an SSO for you. Use something out of the box that's used by over 100 different organizations today to do the single sign-on. So you can have your iMIS sign-on be the sign-on for all of your third parties. But even better, we've got two new versions, a Pro to allow you to use Okta, Amazon Cognito, any other identity provider you can use to sign into everything from iMIS to all the third parties. These are no maintenance solutions. And then our enterprise, by the way, we had a client that said, well, my coworkers come from multiple organizations and they each use their own identity provider. This organization is an organization of universities that used to be 10 and now is more than 10. And they all need to log in with their own university login. And we've got that supported too. So please do not pay anybody to write an SSO. It's going to cost you a lot of money and it's going to need to be supported consistently. We do that all for you here at CSI. So please reach out to JT if you have an SSO need, because single sign-on is the #1 way to get people using not only your iMIS member profiles and whatnot, but all the third parties you integrate with.
Thank you, Doug. Some last slide of important links. All of our documentation can be found at docs.csiinc.com. We do have a listserv, so we want this to be a collaborative environment where you can bounce ideas off of one another and see how other organizations are using CSI tools. So you can join by going to that URL. If you're licensed for a CSI solution already and you're looking for support, support is included. So how-to questions, if you're running into any errors, all of that is supported and it is included with the licensing costs. So you can always send an email to support@csiinc.com. And then if you are interested in anything that you saw here today, or you have questions on pricing, anything like that, you can always reach out to sales@csiinc.com as well, and I can help provide you information there. But with that, want to open it up for questions. And one thing I just remembered is I will post this link. This is a link to all of the connectors available for Power Automate. So when you're thinking, could Power Automate be a solution we can take advantage of? You can go in here and these are all of the solutions and the third parties that you have access to. So what I typically do is I say just do Control F to find what you're looking for. And you could type in, if you're using a survey tool, what survey tools do they have out here? They have that, which I'm not familiar with. They have Survey 123. They have Survey Monkey. So really go to that link and see what is available.
Thanks, JT.
Any questions. I know Doug has answered most of them, but any other last minute questions or anything you want to discuss?
What's our favorite integration?
Huh. I would say probably the Teams one. I do know, like, if I do know from there was a fundraising client that wanted for large donations of over a certain dollar amount to be alerted. They just had a Power Automate flow, and when a donation of, say, over $5,000 is donated, you will be able to go in and it will populate a message or one of those cards in Teams. And there's even an option to send an email to them. So you'll be able to access the email you have in iMIS for that individual and send them a personalized email. So that's pretty powerful. I do know organizations are connecting this with Power BI. So really assessing Power BI on that front. So there's a lot of things you can do and integrate with.
We did just have a customer integrate with Razor's Edge. Their foundation said we don't want to use iMIS, so they use Razor's Edge. So we made this Razor's Edge has a Power Automate connector. So Razor's Edge and iMIS talk to each other. That was a little trickier, and the developer for that is on this call right now, and he's going, "No, I'm going to be pulled back in," but it does work. And what I love most about that is, although we helped with that, they could say, CSI, we don't want your help anymore. They could go to anybody to manage that Power Automate. So the beauty of using something like this is you control it all. And even if you don't know how to do it, you can have someone else step in and do it. It's not like having something custom written for you that now the person that wrote that, you're beholden to them. If they go out of business, if they lose their developer or anything, you are, in trouble. So love using products to do the integration because it allows you the freedom to not only use best in breed products, but best in breed consultants if needed, or just do it yourself like JT.
Yes. And Barb, yes, I will be sending a link to the recording. Do not Venmo iMIS guy. So yes, I will pass along the recording afterwards so you can share with your team and anybody else that you want to, or just rewatch it.
Now, how to configure automatic payments in iMIS or our members auto pay part payments of subs. Well, I will say this. The other thing is when Power Automate can't do something, so I don't believe it does payments, but IDMS does do payments. So what JT has done in the past when he needs Power Automate to do something that it's not quite there doing, he'll write to a panel in iMIS, and then you can actually call iWorkflow from Power Automate. He'll call that, and then IDMS will finish up the work of applying a payment or doing anything fun like that. So that gets into some fun things. But I'm chatting offline here with one of the people in here, and she's already threatening to do some really exciting stuff. So there's sky's the limit. JT, question on the AI tool that you used.
Yes, let me
I thought it was
see.
the Microsoft sentiment analysis, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe that's what it was. We didn't showcase it here, but I believe it was what Doug just mentioned. So we used, oh, that's fun. It doesn't tell me. I can let you know, but it's whatever this icon is. I think it's maybe the Microsoft Dataverse, but
I think
I
it's
will
could
double
be
check
AI
for you.
builder. Yeah, there's a ton in there, but yeah, it was one of
Yeah,
those.
AI is not going to be a good solution, but leave
Yeah,
it.
there's a bunch of AI built in. Some of the AI does cost additional money, just a heads up, but it's really cool. Or you
Yeah.
can send it nasty grams. Oh, thank you, Chris. Chris, go ahead and pass your Venmo in there so I can send you the money there for the IDMS shout out,
Awesome.
All right.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. Once again, if you do have any questions about Power Automate or anything like that, you can always reach out to sales@csiinc.com and I can answer any questions you have, schedule a personalized demo, do like a proof of concept. So don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thanks, everyone.